Welcome to 13 Degrees of Screams.
Where we scream so you don't scream.
We're your host, Alex.
And Stephanie.
And this week, we get possessed by some demons at an abandoned funeral home in Night of the Demons.
Before we get started, make sure you subscribe and click the bell to be notified when we post new episodes.
Let's dive in and see just how scary Night of the Demons is on a scale of 1 to 13. Night of the Demons is a 1988 American supernatural horror film directed by Kevin S. Tenney and written and produced by Joe Augustine. The plot revolves around a bunch of high schoolers who decide to host a party bash in a remote funeral home. During the night, they try to perform a seance, but things go horribly wrong. They unknowingly unleash a demon trapped in the crematorium. One by one, the sinister force begins to take control of them. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 53% critic score and a 60% audience score. For our ratings, we will discuss 4 aspects of the movie and score it from 0 to 3 for each. These individual ratings will be added to make our overall scary rating. To kick us off, Stephanie, what did you give plot?
I gave plot a 3. I said, silly, perverted, and a little gross. I can't believe I'm saying that I like this. At first, I thought we were playing out all the classic horror stereotypes with troublesome teens looking to party, some promiscuous girls versus our virginal final girl, the one token black kid, Roger, etc. However, they subverted my expectations by not letting our main girl end up with one of the guys fighting over her and not killing off Roger. It was really interesting watching the different characteristics of the demon play throughout the cast. It sort of maintained the persona of each character while pursuing the others that had not yet been affected, which made it all the more scary to not know when they'd become violent. I also like the ending with the old man being killed by his own razor blades in the apples that he intended to give trick-or-treaters. I thought that was a nice nod to legends surrounding Halloween and definitely piqued my interest in a sequel.
I gave plot a 2. I said, while not wholly original in concept, the plot is serviceable in a simplistic way that gets the job done. I personally do enjoy stories that revolve around a group of people stranded in a single location and fighting off the danger there. However, the plot somewhat loses me towards the end. It boils down to a series of chase scenes. The demons killing the unsuspecting protagonist is scary. However, the comedic aspects of the movie prevents it from hitting the full 3 score for me.
That's fair.
I'm surprised you liked it, actually.
I went in completely skeptical. I was like, oh, it's going to be gross. Because there's a lot of panty shots. I will say that. We saw everyone's choice of underwear for the night, basically, lining up. I was just like, oh, it's going to be really perverted. And they definitely did focus on the male gaze for a good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But other than that, once it kind of steered away from it, it got better, in my opinion.
There are your sex scenes, full booba.
Yeah.
And your no-no downstairs.
yeah, that's
Did you show that?
I forgot about the no-no downstairs.
It's brief. It's,
Yeah, right. The most disturbing part, though, of the sexual things was when she's drawing on her chest, the one girl is, and she just inserts her lipstick tube into her boob. That was always there for carrying, and personally, my chest is a little bit more sensitive. I didn't know we had the option.
Suzanne? What are you doing?
Well, now you know you don't have pockets in your pants, but that's where you could keep your keys.
Apparently.
You didn't know this whole time, Steph.
No one told me. I'm very upset. Did you like those aspects that it was playing to the typical 80s kind of sex appeal, and then the virginal aspect and everything with the main character?
It's one of those things, I don't really care either way. I don't particularly enjoy it, but I don't mind that it's there. For me, I could gloss over it. It doesn't really bother me. I'm a sex scene, okay, whatever. I don't think it really ever enhances a movie to me. I also don't think it deters it all that much. So what do you think about that? Mostly because the women are usually more objectified, especially with our fun little character of Stooge. He was just great towards our female characters.
Oh, for sure.
Dizzy fucking bitch, man.
Stooge, you become an asshole of your own free will, or were you born that way?
I don't know. I know that sex scenes are in movies. It doesn't really bother me that they're in it. But when it felt like we were just let's show everyone's choice of lingerie, everyone's wearing their best lingerie for this, by the way. It just felt like a little overkill to me. I could get 1 or 2 shots and stuff like that, but they focus on several instances where it's just panties out. And that's where I thought oh, ew.
Yeah.
It just doesn't read well to me for being for women kind of thing. But otherwise, like, once you get past that, I didn't mind it so much. I know Stu wasn't being great to women either. A lot of them aren't great to women. I think even Roger at one point's like, woman, like, look away from that guy that you liked that's dead now. Like,
Sir,
just,
no, I'm
they
rooting for
regularly
you.
call
Don't
them
do
bitch.
this.
They regularly call them woman. Like, it's very
Mhm.
demeaning. So not that I love that, but otherwise, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, because even Jay, our main character's boyfriend, actively has sex with Suzanne in like
Mhm.
the next room over.
Yeah.
I'm
After
like,
she
you're just
rejects
cheating
him,
on her
it's just
straight up.
immediately. Yeah.
You're having sexy time with a demon, sir.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know that part, but they were dancing in the beginning before Judy rejected him completely. They were dancing. And then he looks over at Suzanne, who's dancing a little bit more provocatively. And then he just like boogies over to her. Like, you came with Judy. Sorry.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hey, sir, back up. You have a
Mhm.
girlfriend right there.
Right. And I didn't like his implication that, like, she wasn't a virgin because she dated Sal for a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was very strange.
Did you have a particular scene that really stood out to you that was like the scariest part of the movie?
Honestly, God, I don't remember all of their names because eventually they just all become demons.
Right. Realistically, the only people you should know maybe is Judy, and I would say Roger, and then like Sal third. Everyone
Right.
else, they're all gonna die. No matter.
Yeah, basically. I think the best scene with like the whole demon taking over situation was when Stu gets like possessed. It's with the woman that's dressed like Moira from Schitt's Creek, and she just reminds me of Moira. Just like the air about her, she's just
Angela?
like, we're all gonna scare you. Like, yes.
Yeah, I could see that. I didn't even
Yeah,
think
I don't
about
know.
that.
It's just like the goth, like Moira always wears black, and like not to this extent, but still, it was just the same amount.
You may currently think, oh, I'm too spooky.
And she reads very much like Pretty in Pink girl, and that's the actress that plays Moira.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the most interesting just because of the dancing and stuff like that. Oh, warning though, if you do watch it, it is like a lot of flashing lights. Like it will cause you to have
Yeah.
a seizure if you're like just really focused on it. Like I was looking away a couple of times because I was like, I can't do the light in my face over and over.
Kiss me.
Oh.
How about you? What was your quintessential scene?
So for me, I would say the scariest part was when they first do the seance. So in the story, at this point in the plot, they had just arrived at the funeral home and they're dancing and having a good time. And the one character, I don't know her name. I don't remember either, but she's like, let's do a past life seance. And I've never heard.
Yeah.
I was like,
was
what
her
is
name?
that?
It was like Marge or something. I don't know.
Marge. We'll call her Marge. I don't think it's Marge, but Margie, little Margie, is like, let's do a past life seance.
Hey, you guys, how about a past life seance?
A what?
A past life seance. You know, we all sit around, look in a mirror, and see our past lives.
I don't know if that's a real thing. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone else has to look, though. That was
Right.
a weird thing to me. I was like, why does everyone else have to focus on just you to make this happen?
Yeah, I don't want people seeing my past life.
Right.
But
What if I don't
anyways,
like it?
Yeah, so they do this ritual, and then you see the demon. Like, very few times do you actually see what this demon looks like, and it just shows up in the mirror, and it's like kind of an insectoid shaped praying mantis almost, with
Yeah,
like horns.
its head's very pointy. It kind of reminds me of like a triceratop mixed with like an insect. Because like its face is like very pointy, but then it's kind of like bug-like because of the way its skin looks.
Yeah, and then you see it, and then all of a sudden you see Helen. I know Helen, that
Oh,
character.
yes.
Her face on the other side of the mirror, like, comes out of nowhere and just is shoved against the other side of the mirror. And you see her death.
Right.
And that was very jarring for me. That, like,
I grew
actually, I was
around
like,
because I
"Oh."
was like, we were just looking at the demon, and then there's some dead girl, and we had so many girls in the cast at that point. I was like, who the fuck is that? Like,
Helen.
it's Helen,
Not Helen, no.
not Helen.
So that part, I think the lead up to the multiple possessions is the scariest part. And then once the characters start like getting possessed, It's a little silly. They're a little goofy. It kind of gives me off-brand Evil Dead vibes.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit, because it's the same concept. People get possessed and kill each other. But I think seeing the demon for that brief second, I wasn't expecting that at all. So that part kind of freaked me out, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the build up to before the demon arriving makes it more scary. But then once everyone's revealed, then it kind of like loses its luster for being super scary at that point.
Yeah, because you see them transform and then back to their human side, and then they transform again, and they are kind of like witty and silly, like especially Suzanne's character.
Yes.
She has little quips and stuff. So at that point, okay, we know what we're doing here. They're just going to get possessed one by one. But actually seeing the demon for the first time, I was like, oh no, that's creepy.
My pearls, no.
Clutching them. What did you give Suspense?
I gave Suspense a 2. I said there are a ton of jump scares in this, but once the majority of the group is taken over by the demon, you suspect it more times than not that they are just waiting around every corner. I found the buildup before everyone gets possessed more suspenseful, especially watching it run at them from the demon's perspective. Like when it first comes out of the crematorium, and then you like see it like just hoo-ha, like run, like, and it's like turning the corners and everything, and then you can see like the light as it's getting closer to where the group is and everything, and how it like surveys all of them and chooses Suzanne. That was the creepiest part, just because the unexpected of you don't know what's going to happen.
Never mind the draft, man. Who cut the cheese?
Oh, PBU, that is Ray.
Stooge must be wearing his mom's dirty panties again.
God, man, this feels like somebody died.
What did you have for Suspense?
I gave it a 1. I was going back and forth between 1 and 2, but ultimately I just give it the 1. I said this movie is surprisingly slow with not much happening within the first 40 minutes. I will say after that it kind of ramps up. But when the possessions kick off with Suzanne, it does initially create some suspense by not knowing what's going to happen next and how these characters are going to be taken out. However, as noted in my plot section, by the end of the movie I was getting a little bored with the chase scenes and the overly long jumping the wall ending scene. That went on forever. Yes. Also, most of the characters were so unlikable, I was actively rooting for their demise. So I was like, come on, let's go.
I know at one point, once Jay had died, and then it was just Sal, I was like, oh no, she's going to have to be with Sal. Like that was kind of my expectation for how it was going to play out. So I didn't think that Roger was going to be an option, and I thought he was just getting a pass at every turn for a while. Then when they kill him off, I was like, oh, I guess we're not doing that. So I had to give it a little bit of credit for that.
Oh, don't tell me you're leaving. Sal wanted to go, but he decided to stick around.
That scene specifically where Sal dies is what I noted as probably the more suspenseful part of the movie. Because at this point, we're running around. Judy escapes out through like the roof of the building, and Angela's there. She's like, surprise. And like they fight a little bit, and Angela falls off the side and she's holding on for dear life. And Sal comes out and she just like pushes him off.
Yeah.
And he fucking dead. He dies right there. And I was like, oh, I was kind of hoping there would be some kind of like redemption thing for Sal.
Right. Because it kind of starts off as the douche, and then you realize that the actual boyfriend's the douche. And then you're like, oh, are we supposed to like Sal? No, I guess not.
No, I mean, I guess you can if you want, but he's not making it to the end of this movie.
Right. That's true.
Luckily, Judy kind of shimmies off to the side, and then to a point where it's not like if she falls, it won't kill her because it's closer up. And then she falls, and then it shows a series of scenes of her falling, and the angle in which she's falling, when she's like going straight down, like up and down, and then it shows her going like like falling flat, and then she falls on Roger. Yeah. And it's fine. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, all right. Judy was the funniest, I feel like, whenever she ran away. Like, at one point, she meets up with Sal, and then they see Angela in the hallway coming at them. And she just kind of, like, faints, and he's like, all right, let's get up and run. And she's like, I can't. I'm like, girl, that's honest. I admit I probably would do the same.
I lay down right here.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
take
done.
a nap.
I'm taking a nap. I'm taking a nap, man. Good night.
And then
Yeah.
on the roof too, like Roger's trying to get her to like shimmy over, and she's like, I can't do it. Like, I don't think
Girl,
I can. I'm like, girl, why are you giving up? So easily. Everyone else is so ready to run. Not Judy. Judy's like, seems hard.
I think maybe adrenaline would get you to where you need to go, but I don't know if I could shimmy across
Yeah, no.
hanging
honestly.
off the side of a roof, so I can't really blame her too much for being
I
a
guess,
little
but everybody
difficult.
else had the energy.
How did you feel about the end scene? In the movie, there's like this big brick wall that covers the whole building, and everyone else except for Judy and Roger are possessed. And Roger and Judy are like, let's climb this wall. So Roger gets over, and Judy is struggling because Judy's our, struggle girl here. This scene feels like it went on for 20 minutes. Did you also get that vibe?
Yeah, but I didn't mind looking behind her at all the people that had become possessed, because I just liked watching the difference in makeup for like which ones were possessed and like went like full death and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like the one guy that was with the girl that suggested the past life seance, he only like lost his arm, but he somehow died and got possessed. And when you look at him compared to everyone else's faces, it's just like he's a little pale. That's it.
Yeah. Just different degrees of possession, I guess.
Yes, I guess so.
I just felt from a suspense standpoint, like this is the final scene of them like escaping. And she's climbing over and she's struggling and they're clawing at her legs and she's slipping. And then she's slipping and then they're clawing at her legs and then clawing at her legs. And I'm like,
All right, they're gonna pull
How
her
did they
down now.
not
There's like
gr-
8 of them. Like,
how are you not pulling her down at this point? I just felt
Right.
like that was such a missed opportunity to somehow make that a little bit more suspenseful because I'm like watching my watch and I'm like,
oh, still climbing.
yeah, still climbing. You're in the same spot you've been for the last 5 minutes.
And then Roger on the other side is like on the ground, like thinking about it. Just like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm going to help her out anymore. This has been really on me to help her at this
I'm so
point. And
sorry.
she's screaming, so
I'm so sorry, Judy, but
yeah.
no.
No,
Just
he
kidding. I'd
comes
help
back
her.
to help her after he thinks about it a little.
Yeah. Which I love that he survived. Like that I was, you have that token black character that you mentioned, but he survives. I'm
Yeah.
like, woo, let's go.
I also thought like it was funny too because like both of them, Judy and Roger, were the ones that weren't into the party being at this crematorium. So I was like, that makes sense. They didn't want to be there. They kind of got forced to be there by their friends.
Yeah.
And makes sense that their friends would have to pay the price and then they
Yeah.
didn't have to.
I wish Helen survived too, because she also she bounced. She
Oh, yeah.
left with Roger initially.
That's
I'm
true.
like, she could have survived. But I like Judy. I like Judy and Roger.
Yeah, me too.
What did you have for atmosphere?
I gave atmosphere a 2. I said having a party at an abandoned funeral home, crematorium, is definitely an odd choice, but makes the perfect setting for this creepy demon-filled nightmare. I knocked off 1 point because we got some lore about the family that ran it before they arrived that never came back to fruition in the actual plot. They mentioned that this family owned it and eventually they killed each other, like went crazy or something like that. I definitely wanted to see some sort of return to that if we're
Yeah.
going to mention it at all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
How about you?
I actually gave it a full 3. I said, I think the atmosphere is where the movie really shines. The spooky mortuary, dark corridors, and dilapidated rooms really enhanced the scare factor of this movie. So I felt like it deserved the full 3 for this category.
Fair enough.
It's just basically a single location movie, and it's just perfect haunted house vibes.
Yes.
So
And then
I'm like,
once they're trapped within the property, like they don't think about climbing over the wall immediately. Not
Mhm.
until the end. So
right.
so
But
then they're kind of
then-
like just trapped in this huge property of weird rooms and demons.
And demons, yeah. Back to the wall. We're talking about this wall a lot. It had barbed wire on it.
Yeah.
Why did this funeral home feel the need to have barbed wire around it?
Grave robbers, maybe? Like,
They're not in the grave yet, though, right?
well, I mean, you could still take someone's valuables from like a funeral home. Like if
Okay.
you think about like those people that are gross and do stuff with corpses, that kind of stuff.
I don't know if anyone works at a very big mortuary funeral home. Is this normal to have barbed wire surrounding
It probably
me?
is a little extreme, yeah.
I do think the lore is kind of interesting because they do mention how there's a river that runs through, like, under the ground, and the lore being that evil spirits can't cross it.
A brick wall on top of an underground stream? Oh, there's a stroke of engineering genius.
Well, the wall was built to mark the stream. Supposedly the evil spirits that haunt the land can't cross over running water or something.
And that's where, like, the wall is. So I thought that was a kind of neat aspect of the location. There's a wall. I mean, they can't even climb the wall. So the river is kind of a moot point of that, you know?
Right. Yeah, that is weird. But I guess it means that the demons are trapped inside. Like, they can't go through wherever the river is, wherever the wall is.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like in spirit form, even if they try to go over the wall.
Yeah, maybe that's what they mean.
I just feel like when they're possessing people, they're hindering themselves. They could just go, whoop. Well, they can't because of the river. But otherwise, why bother possessing anybody?
Right. I also did find it funny that, like, it was just going to be on Halloween. Like, I wondered what was, like, the inciting factor of it. Was it when they broke the mirror? Was it...
I think the seance.
The seance? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, I guess they did see the face before the mirror broke, so... But I guess that's what freed him.
Breaking the mirror?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I just
was
assumed...
like, what happened? You know, like I saw the whole movie, but I don't know what made it happen. You know, like, were they fine until the seance things, technically, or...
Yeah,
what?
because... Yeah, they do the seance... They see the demon in the mirror, but then Suzanne gets possessed after the seance, right? Goes flying through. Maybe it was just going to happen regardless, because they mentioned how on Halloween is when all the evil spirits are out. So maybe regardless of seance, it was going to happen.
Maybe. Yeah. I guess because I think they did hear stuff in the basement before of him, like, trying to get out, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Because he was, like, in the crematorium area, and then the door opens and he comes out.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to say the seance didn't matter. The seance only served to show Helen's death.
Oh, okay.
I guess. I think it was... I personally think they were going to get possessed regardless of doing any
just based
seances.
on location and the day that they were there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I will say, perfect 80s movie Halloween vibes. Like, off the bat.
For sure.
It got me such in the mood for Halloween. I'm so ready for fall now.
Right? I've actually seen on TikTok recently, too, like, those old, like, cutouts of, like, Halloween stuff that my parents would hang up for Halloween. And I was like, well, now I want to get some of those. Like the vintage, like, pumpkins with the little scary faces and the Frankenstein and stuff like that. I'm like, I kind of want to get those.
I feel like everyone had those. I vividly remember having that and a friend having that when, you know, growing up.
Like I don't know, I guess they'd be called, like, decals, but they're not, like, sticky on the back. You'd have to, like, stick them with something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, this movie, if you're in the mood for, like, a fall Halloween-y vibe, this movie is perfect for that. What did you give Villain?
I gave the villain a 3. I said the demon is definitely creepy and takes over quickly. On top of that, they are trapped inside the property without a way out once the demon is summoned. And it's horrifying to watch the rest of the group deteriorate into monsters and then jump back to looking like themselves when it works for them. How about you?
I actually only gave it a 2. I said the demon we see in the mirror during the seance is disturbing, and it only gets worse when the characters get possessed one by one. The practical makeup effects really bring these villains to life, and each time their distorted faces pop on screen, it is sure to startle the viewers. However, I couldn't give the demons a full 3 points, as they are sometimes goofy in their characterization, and all they had to do to beat them was survive until sunrise.
I honestly didn't think that, though. Like, the whole time I was like, I don't think it's going to work until sunrise. But I don't know. I wasn't having positive feelings about them being trapped on the property until they started climbing the wall. I was like, they're not going to get out. It's just going to be everyone's doomed situation. I was surprised that just waiting till the sun came out was fine.
Oh. Okay.
I feel like you could have probably maybe just hid somewhere real good.
Yeah, maybe.
And it would have been fine.
Well, there was many of them, so...
Yeah. There were many demons, for
Yes,
sure.
many demons.
They are a little silly sometimes, too. I kind of mentioned it with Suzanne. When they go
Yes.
back to humans, they're kind of, witty. So they weren't just full on scary to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Like, they have some,
relentless.
like, little one-liners, too. Like, Angela, I think, says when they're running outside, like, oh, leaving so soon? Or
Mhm.
something like that. Or,
Right. It makes it less scary for me because I'm like, oh, that was funny. Like, towards the
Yeah.
end, like, Angela, I kind of like you as a demon.
yeah,
she's a
you're
cool-
kind of giving.
she's slaying, honestly.
Right.
And I don't know, it just makes me almost like the demons a little bit.
Kind
I'm not
of.
as afraid of them. So while, being possessed is awful, I wasn't as scared of it when they were a little bit sillier.
I think Suzanne and Angela would be fun hang. Stu, no, he's just violent the whole time. But everybody
He's the
else is like
worst.
very funny until they have like these moments and then they just like, take someone's eyes out. But
Yeah.
other than that,
Maybe when they were humans, they were just being a little bit more devious as opposed to funny. Then
mhm.
maybe I would have given it a 3. But by the end, I was just like, Angela's kind of a cool movie villain to me.
Yeah.
I wish we also learned a little bit more about the demons, but I don't know how they would have effectively done that. Just demons here.
Right.
BT-dubs.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that Angela gave like this description about like the difference between a haunted house and a house possessed by demons.
What's the difference between possessed and haunted?
A haunted house is a house with ghosts in it, the spirits of people who've died. But the spirits living in a house possessed have never existed in human form. They've only existed in spirit form. They're pure evil. They're demons.
I was like, but we already know the lore that a family died here, so technically there should be ghosts. Maybe demons too, but there should also be ghosts.
Right. Can it be both? Can
Yeah.
we be possessed and haunted?
Right.
Because the difference was a possessed house is full of spirits that were never human,
Mhm.
right? And then a haunted house was haunted by spirits who were human. So that's interesting.
Unless that's how they died. Like the family died because the demons were there.
Yeah,
and killed
maybe.
them. Maybe.
I don't know. I just wish I knew where they were coming from a little bit.
Yeah. You just kind of have to fill in the blanks yourself.
hmm Did you give the movie your extra special point?
I did. I gave it an extra point for all the reasons I laid out. I went in very skeptical and was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I did as well. I think the plot is simple, like I said, but it's a good time and the vibes are perfect. So I did give it the point. The practical effects were really good, and I did think it was a little interesting. So I did give it the extra point.
Yeah. Just that like intro theme too, like with all the animations and stuff like that. That definitely gives like a nice vibe setting aesthetic too to get you ready for it.
It was fun too, because it wasn't overly serious either. So you could pop it on and have a fun time. So adding the scores, you gave it 11 and I gave it a 9. Scary demons.
Yes, they're very scary.
Before we wrap up, for anyone who's seen our episodes before, you may have noticed that we did not include a scripted plot like we've been for a while. We're trying a little bit something new, so let us know in the comments if you prefer us to keep a plot where we go beat by beat and add some jokes in there before we talk about our ratings, or if you like us just jumping straight to the point, hearing our thoughts, and then still getting some of the plot as we talk about it. So just be sure to leave us a little comment on what you prefer. That would be super helpful to give us that feedback so we know how to make these episodes as best as we can.
Yeah, just want to make them as best as we can for you.
Yeah, it's all for you, girl.
It's all
on
for
your
you
16th
on
birthday.
your 16th birthday.
It's all about you, girl, on your 16th birthday.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like. And of course, you can leave us a comment to let us know what movies you want us to cover next. You can also listen to these episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you to Cinema and Movies for this request. You can find us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.